My name is Reuben Cummings. I am the president and founder of Nerevu Group. We got started while I was living in Arusha, Tanzania. So after I had graduated from college in Boston and worked for a few years, I decided it was time for a change, and so I kind of packed up everything and moved to East Africa in Arusha, Tanzania. And I was working for a startup there, and after a few years, I kind of decided that I wanted to do some freelancing and kind of try out doing work on my own. And so that was kind of how the idea for the company at the time, I just decided to call it Nerevu Development. And our focus was really building offline capable web applications. So when you're in a developing country, a lot of times you don't have a lot of the resources that you're used to here in the US. So the electricity goes out a lot. You may be in areas where you don't have cell phone reception, and since most of the time you get your internet from your cell phone, you don't usually have internet connection. So the idea was to really learn about how to make web applications work without internet. And so I kind of landed my first project doing just that. And that was the development of our company. Starting out, the initial customers were in the East African region. So the first few clients were in Tanzania. So this was back in 2014 when we originally started. Then the next client was in Kenya, which is a bordering country. And from there, since most of the work is done remotely, we were able to work with a few international companies as well, so ranging from Canada to the United States. But initially, those first few customers were primarily in East Africa. So I get that question a lot. Nerevu is actually a Swahili word, and it means intelligent. So a lot of times, especially now with the growth of social media, it's really hard to pick a name where you can find the handle on Twitter and Facebook and all those different domains. And so I decided, why don't I just pick a foreign language? Swahili is the national language of Tanzania, and I was just kind of going through different words to select, and I just, okay, let me see what intelligent, what that translates to. And so, yeah, I just really liked the way that it came out. It's short, it's memorable, and most importantly, it's available on all social media accounts. Starting out, our main focus was web application development and really looking at how to make applications offline first. Since then, we've expanded our core competencies to include interactive data visualizations, process automation, and also database design. And so the way that translates into our products is that we focus on dashboard development, web application development, and then also most recently we've transitioned into doing consulting and development for open data portals. One thing that I've really found that helps is when you take on a new project to be sure to stretch, but make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew. A lot of times with technology projects, there's always going to be a level of uncertainty. And so the goal is to really quantify what that uncertainty is, try to minimize it as much as possible, and then always make sure that you're not taking on too many pieces of uncertainty at a time. So there might be a project that you've done in the past that has some overlap, and maybe you have to change a few things here and there. That's always great. But if you have a piece of technology that you've never worked with, maybe it's a new programming language or a new technology platform, or you're using something in a different way, if there's too many things that you just haven't done before or haven't had experience with, it just makes that project much more difficult going forward. Recently, we did a project for a organization, and they wanted to integrate a content management system into a brand new website. And we've done projects before where we integrated content management systems, but in this case, they wanted pretty tight controls over who had access to the system. So they wanted contributors who could write blog posts, but not have the ability to publish them so that they can go live. And then they also wanted administrators and editors who had different levels of control, so the editors could edit the posts and also approve the posts, and then the administrator could add new editors or new contributors. And the content management systems that we've worked with in the past didn't really have that fine level of detail. But what they did offer was the ability to kind of have a custom data model. So for example, if they wanted to display their website metrics in the content management system, you can just kind of build that into it. And so after we did the research to kind of see what was available, we did see that there was a content management system that had that access control level of detail, but unfortunately, it didn't give you the flexibility to create custom data models. So what we wound up doing was kind of trying a two-phase approach. So we used the content management system that had that access control, but we had to custom build a database system for the custom data model. And on the front end, on the website, we just had to seamlessly integrate those two systems so that it wouldn't be noticeable to the user of the website that they were actually operating or interacting with two distinct systems. And so it kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, because this was using a piece of technology in a way that we hadn't done before. But there was enough overlap with our experience with working with content management systems and doing web application development. It was a risk that we were happy to take. Great. So I think there's lots of great reasons to be here. So personally, I'm a Peoria native. So I grew up here, went to middle school, high school, before I moved away to college. And for me, what I noticed after coming back is that the size of the city is great for exposure. So when I was abroad, especially living in East Africa, I was able to kind of get my name out, but it was more spread. So I would maybe go to a conference in another country, and that wouldn't always directly translate back to kind of that hometown feeling. But since being back here in Peoria, there's just been so many more opportunities. So I've gotten exposure. I feel like my name and my company is kind of getting more known across the region. There's lots of resources here. Here where we are now, GPEDC. There's also the SBDC, Small Business Development Center. I also take advantage of SCORE, which is a mentoring organization for companies. And I just feel like every few months I find something new where Peoria has a resource that can help out startups here. I would definitely reach out to the greater biotech and pharmaceutical companies. There is actually, I guess, the beginnings of a movement to try to bring more of those organizations here to Peoria. And we are really in a great location, starting out as the whiskey capital of the world and even of the country. We have a lot of buildings that are really set up for manufacturing, and it's just a matter of maybe doing some rehabilitation, maybe changing some things around, but it'll be a lot easier than trying to start from scratch. Also, the location, being centrally located, would make it very easy for pharmaceutical companies to distribute their medications across the country. A lot of the transportation and logistical systems are already set up and are already in place. And so I think that would be a great opportunity just to bring new industry here. One of the things that me and my fiance like to do is kind of take a walk on the riverfront. There's a great ice cream place called Emac and Bolio's. They have wonderful ice cream. We go there quite frequently and just kind of enjoy the nice weather. In the evenings, we do like to enjoy live music. So in Peoria Heights, there's a couple of really cool places that really let you kind of sit down and relax. There's a place called Edge, and then across from there, there's another place called Poor Brothers. And so we're frequent visitors to both of those places, really enjoy the live music scene and just kind of being out in the open and just kind of enjoying things.